Ariel Helwani in Chicago getting set for UFC 225 alongside one of the top contenders in the UFC's flyweight division, Joseph Benavidez, who of course meets Sergio Pettis this Saturday right here at the United Center. Joe, it's good to see you. I like the hair, my man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I enjoy it too. I like it. I think it's, I don't know, everyone thinks it's like this new coming or restart, and it wasn't really, but now that I look at it, like there's a lot of new things going on. It's kind of like a new chapter, and maybe just subconscious I thought, oh, I needed to complete it with a change of my actual look, but didn't think about it when it happened. But now it feels nice, you know, like I'm a new guy again. I'm a new young up and comer. Like I haven't dyed my hair since high school, and now here I am feeling like a young kid.
What prompted it?
It was just a feeling.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thought. It was like a feeling. I was like, hey, you know what? I think I should dye my hair today. And I went to Walmart, like bought the dye myself and dyed it at my house. That was pretty much it. I thought it would look cool, I guess, basically.
And back in high school, this was the look that you rocked?
All the time in wrestling, yeah, high school wrestling. I think it's a thing in high school wrestling. Like, but even people from high school, when I posted on they're like, oh, that's Joe from high school, wrestling and you know, state tournament and everything. That's like my hair was blonde all through high school, pretty much, or green or red. So just went back to it, and I think it showed, like, I don't know, I feel like a young kid again with the experience of a veteran, you know, coming off of 18-month layoff and everything I've been through. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and of course, I was just going to ask you about the layoff. Mentally, I'm sure at times that particular recovery is a tough one, right? The ACL. Was there ever a point where you thought, like, I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel here? Were you ever getting discouraged that you wouldn't get back in there considering the long layoff?
You know what, at the beginning, it was just hard to imagine, like, oh, how long is this going to be? It's hard to imagine what else am I going to go through, because you already do the surgery, you're in the ultimate pain after. I didn't take a ton of, like, pain meds or anything, and those first days are really hard, and you're just like, what else does this recovery have in store for me? This is crazy, just the pain, the discomfort, non-sleeping, the crying, like, is this ever going to end? But now looking back at it, it's just kind of like, when was I injured? Like, it's kind of hard to think about even being an injured fighter. All I can remember is like the good things, I guess, you know, and I think it was a big life experience, and like, yes, an experience for my career, something I maybe had to go through, but just a life experience, it was so big, you know, because fighting in my career is pretty much my life. So it's just a great experience overall. Now when I look back, it's like all I remember are the good things and how good the recovery was and how well it went and how great the people were that I had around me, as far as supporters, coaches, everybody, you know, at the UFC, PI, just everyone around me. And all I remember is the good things. And I think those times that were hard and when I thought maybe it wouldn't happen or how long is this going to take, it only just made me stronger and gave me a new perspective on the sport and how lucky we are to do it.
When did you feel 100%?
Honestly, after about, I don't remember the period of time. I think it was maybe, so the fight will be about 13 months post-surgery. So at about 10, I was feeling really good where I started wrestling and I was hitting mitts and I would just slowly get into it where wrestling was kind of the last thing I did. So once I did that, it was like full blown. Like I never stopped. I overtrained. I was just reckless on my body. I didn't care about it. Like I just had to catch up and train. I just loved doing it. So once I got to that point, I overtrained so hard for like a month of just doing it, and then you know, took a fight as like a healthy fighter, took a little break, and then, you know, had a nice time to prepare for the fight.
I know when you did media around a week or so ago, you expressed some disappointment of being low on the card. Yeah. How do you feel now that you've gotten it out there? Maybe there's some feedback, you know, from the company. How do you feel now about your spot on the card?
Yeah, no feedback from the company, feedback from the fans, feedback from the media, and I think that's why the question was asked. It wasn't me, somebody that was like, hey, like right when I found out, went and tweeted it or Instagrammed it. Like it wasn't something where I was like, this affects me so bad I have to tell people. It was something that needed to be asked by media, by fans. You know, I saw them tweeting at me before it was even asked. So, of course, I'm in the place to address it, and I give my true feelings that it's definitely disappointed. And it's just the fact that no one with the #1 ranking by their name, 6 wins in a row, would be third fight on the card. That's just how it goes. So, leaves anyone to speculate why. We don't know, or there can be answers why. But
why do you think it is?
I don't really know. I mean, I think most of the theories the media says are, you know, just the flyweight division in general. I didn't really realize that no flyweight had been on a main card all year. So I think that is a pretty solid theory. But there's not really a theory there. It's like it hasn't been, but there's still a why, and you might not know until you ask, I guess, who makes the decisions. So someone needs to ask him. You should ask him why, you know, because I think that's the big question here is like, why? Like, that wouldn't happen to anyone else,
right.
you know, 6 wins in a row, #1. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's something I need to answer. To me, even when I saw it, I'm like, doesn't affect the fight, doesn't affect what I do. It might complete the whole circle of me being this new up-and-comer, like reinventing myself early on the card like I used to fight. And it doesn't really affect that part. Like I said, it's just something, you know, that I have the ability to answer, that people want to know the answer to, and that it definitely is a problem, I think, when you look at it, and it is definitely something wacky and weird that doesn't make sense.
You feel like you have a point to prove on Saturday now?
Always. I mean, regardless. I mean, that adds to it, but being off for 18 months, having 6 wins in a row, coming off an injury, you always, I think, have something to prove. I wouldn't know because I'm never injured. I've never been injured before this, but yeah, so I think there's always something to prove every fight, but with everything piling up, everything piling up that we already talked about, I mean, there's a bigger reason, yeah.
My understanding is they're going to do DJ versus Henry Cejudo 2 later on this year. Are you hoping Henry wins, considering how your fight went against him, one of the best fights of the year, close fight, fun fight, that opens the door to another chance, or do you really want to get that crack at DJ again?
One of the best fights of the year, people forget, not even fight of the night.
Really?
That was another thing.
Was it DJ Tim Elliott?
No, it was like Kutaliba and someone. Yeah, that was another thing when I was just like, this isn't right.
Yeah.
This isn't right. You know, that was just another thing, you know.
I didn't remember that. That's true.
Throw in the conspiracy folder over there. Like, that was one of the better fights of the year. Wasn't fight of the night. But anyway, yeah, I think, I mean, it gives me an easy case, especially if he wins. But even if he loses, you know, if a guy that I just beat, for one, obviously I have to win this fight or none of this matters. You know what I mean? So after I win this fight, yes, I should have an easy case. The last guy I beat just fought for the title, whether he wins or loses. He had 2 wins in a row. I would have 7, you know, haven't I won? Just beat him, beat the same opponent, hopefully. Like I said, talking pre-fight for that to happen. So, I mean, I think it makes an easy case, but you know, that never matters, it seems, as far as title shots and cents and everything goes. But, yeah, definitely have a good case. If he wins, I mean, it's a no-brainer. But I definitely want the winner of that fight if I beat Sergio Pettis.
Great to talk to you again, Joe. Good luck on Saturday. Congrats on recovering. And I hope for your sake everything works out with Kawhi and the Spurs, because I know that's a very sensitive topic these days in San Antonio.
Yeah. Hopefully they come together, bring it together. Yeah.
Good luck, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it.